Welcome back to Price Action Trading series from Market Secrets. This is episode 17 of this series, and in this episode, we are going to see how to draw trend lines methodically for extremes. Extremes in the sense valleys and peaks. We need a mechanical and methodical way of drawing trend lines in order to connect latest swing lows or latest swing highs, that is, valleys and peaks. We cannot lean on a subjective methodology. We can't allow subjectivity to control our trading decisions. We all know what the result will be if subjectivity takes control of our trading decisions. This episode explains the methodical and objective rule set that will allow any trader to draw trend lines the same way. By doing so, we will all be looking at the charts with same eyes and trend lines. Drawing trend line is not and should not be an art. Obviously, it takes a while to master this method. It would be an art if everyone had their own unique way of drawing trend lines, or you didn't have any strict rules on how to draw them. There's no perfect way to draw trend lines, and it seems that no one out there can agree on the best way to draw them. But we do have very specific rules to draw trend lines methodically and mechanically. So let's get into the rules. Number one, identifying potential reversals. We don't need an opposing zone eliminated in order to draw a trend line. It can be used as a confluence. If an opposing zone is eliminated, then we will have a trend. I know some of the terms used in this particular sentence may not be clear to you. No issues, you will understand it in the later episodes. Number two, we should be connecting the last two bullish or bearish impulses on every time frame of our sequence. That's rule number two. Rule number three, learn as soon as possible when opposing impulses are being created on your trading time frame. If that happens, we must lean on the time frames higher than the one where we start seeing the opposing impulses. If the trend is down and the bearish impulses are being created, what would you think if the next impulse is bullish and stronger than the last bearish impulse? Wouldn't you think the market dynamics for the time frames are changing? Exactly. That's the reason why the trend lines are drawn like this. Number four, the break of a trend line with a full OHCL candle, that is open, high, close, low candle, will create a potential imbalance. So if one full candle, that is OHCL, open, high, close and low of a candle, breaks a trend line, then it will create a potential imbalance. And number five, using trend lines in combination with multiple time frame analysis and sequence can give you exact point where a new trade setup can occur. And number six, trend lines can signal that a change in trend may occur. And lastly, number seven, we will need at least two touches of trend line connecting the latest two obvious valleys and peaks, that is swing lows and swing highs. The more touches the trend line has, the more structured and powerful the trend line and trend will be. So these are the most important rules that you need to consider while drawing the trend line methodically and mechanically. So now let's see how to apply these rules to draw a bullish trend line connecting the two valleys. So if you look at this particular diagram, this particular part is your valley 1, which is V1, and this particular part is your valley 2, which is V2. So as per the rule, you should always connect the latest two valleys to draw a bullish trend line. There is no criteria for the first valley except that it meets the definition of a valley. And the trend line isn't a trend line just because two valleys are present. The second valley must be higher than the first valley, and the price leg up from the second valley must make a new higher high. So if you look at here, this is valley 1, this is valley 2, and the second valley is placed above the first valley, and the price leg up from the second valley makes a higher high when compared to the first valley. So this is the highest high of first valley and this is the highest high of second valley. So the second valley made a higher high when compared to the first valley. So this trend line is now valid. And if you look at the chart here, it is again forming the third valley, which is V3. And once the price breaks above the P2, this third value will be confirmed, then you need to adjust your bullish trend line. So you can remove this trend line and you can mark it this way from V2 to V3. You can draw a trend line and you can extend it. So this is how you need to draw an ascending trend line or uptrend line. The opposite is true for descending trend line. So can you draw a similar diagram for a bearish example? This will help you to understand this better. If you have any queries on this episode, please drop it in the comment section. We'll be happy to answer it. Hit the like button if you have liked this video and share it with your friends if you find it useful. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video or conduct a live session. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Goodbye.